Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. So the title of our presentation is Artists in our Eyes. So first of all, we're going to show you guys few images that we imagine how artists should be look like. So that's some pretty girls painting. So and maybe we go to the exhibition, we hold glass and chat with people and discuss how we think of the artwork. And then some kind of punk style also we can be seen. But in reality, maybe it will be looked at this. Working in the studio, just no time sleep. In the dorm, in bed, so we just can sleep everywhere. It's possible. So that's how we start our presentation. Then we have few questions, and we made interviews with few people, and that's our interviewers that we picked from the interviews we did. Nico, as we know, is the teacher from our
Accuracy.
accuracy class, and Brian, he's one of the tutor in writing center. And Jo, she is work at Utrecht store. Hannah and Eric, they are both lab assistants in this level. And Shanna is one of the girl I met in the cafeteria, and she's a fashion major. So I'm going to change to Shui.
No, Louis.
Oh, Louis.
Okay, and then we have these questions. The first one is, why did you decide to come to Pratt? And almost interview, the answer is like they like art, they like creative things. And the teacher, maybe they also they want the job contactor with art, so they come to Pratt. And the fourth is the fourth and the fifth is, what is an advantage or the disadvantage of attending an art or design college like Pratt? And the advantage, the interviewer talk to us is like they enjoy the art environment, and it's like they have easy to have friends in this art environment, and they can do the things they like. And the disadvantage for the attending art or design college in Prague, they told us is like it's hard to find a job after you undergraduate or graduate from Prague, and it's another way is it's always stay in our same way in the art environment. It's like a person stay in our board and cannot go other and experience other different experience. So, and the sixth question is harsh criticism help to develop as an artist? And this question is reflect the different mind between the student and teacher. The student interview usually say no, they don't like the harsh criticism, but the teachers always say yes, it can help the student. And I choose one of the interview from our interviewer is Nichols, because her answer is like complicated and have enough information, and we can listen.
So, why did you decide to come here? Before I taught at Pratt, I was teaching just at an English school, and it was kind of hard for me because I studied art, and I felt like I couldn't talk about the things that I was really interested in. So I wanted to go somewhere where I could be involved with art and talk about art things, but I really like teaching English, so I wanted to combine both of my interests together. What is an advantage of attending an art or design college like Pratt?
Well, Pratt has a lot of advantages. Pratt specifically, I think that one of the best advantages of Pratt is that it's a beautiful campus,
Yeah.
and also that you are in a center of art. So New York City offers so many resources for art. So you have so many museums and so many professionals, galleries, so many different things going on. But you're at Pratt, which is still allows you trees and nature and a little bit of beauty. So you have the best of both worlds, I think.
So nice combination.
Yeah, good combination.
So what is the disadvantage of attending an art or design college?
Well, of course, after you leave art school, sometimes it can be a little difficult finding a job. So that is a disadvantage. It's a very competitive market because a lot of people want to have a career in art and design because it's a lot of fun. So a lot of people go to school for it, and that means that you have a lot of competition when you leave. And it can be sometimes hard because you have to be very independent when you get out, and it's really hard to get a job.
And do you think hard criticism help to development as an artist?
This is it's interesting that you're asking me this because I've been thinking a lot about it. I think I'm thinking so much about it because a student told me that I'm too critical. But in my background, where I went to school, the teachers were extremely critical, and my fellow students were also extremely critical. And it meant that for 4 years I was going to classes and people were just criticizing the work every day. And it was a hard environment, but I think that it forced me to think clearer about what I was doing and to be able to answer very hard questions. So even though it is a difficult environment to live that way, I think it's important to do it. So I think that it depends on the student. Some students can handle it, and sometimes it makes you feel really bad when things are too critical. Yeah, I don't know if it's.
It's the Nicole's interview. She talk a lot, and
Yeah, we also made some questions. One is, do you think the reputation of Pratt is important to you? And the second one is, do you think more expensive schools are better schools? And the last one is, do you think it is worth going to art school if you can't get a job in the art field? And we also choose the interesting answers come from Nicole and Brian. And Nicole says when she was work at the bad school before, and she felt a little shamed because it's a bad school, so she can't feel proud. But when she came to Pratt, and because Pratt is a good school, so she felt very proud of teaching in the Pratt. And Brian's answer is also very interesting because he says, of course, that's why he paid so much money to come here. And the second one is, Nicole said when she entered into the undergraduate school, and their school is free, and she didn't talk about which one is better, but she thought she was very lucky because her school is very good, and she didn't need to pay the money for the tuition. And The last one, I think Brand's interesting answer is he talked it makes you happy, so it's worth it. If you can insist this job, you will get happy. Should we?
Yeah, it's no time to.
Yeah, it's no time to play the. So our conclusion is which interviews is much easier to communicate, which one is not. Stop.
So for my interviewers, I interviewed Nico and one tutor in Writing Center and a girl in the cafeteria. I think Nico, she's very talkative and she's very patient. She talked a lot about her personal thoughts and her experience. And but I thought the tutor in Writing Center, she was kind of like not very willing to take my interview, and she was doing her own thing when I was interviewing her. So I feel it's not that polite when someone is interviewing you and you are doing your own thing.
My three interviewer, two is the lab assistant, one is my friend, and they're all students at Pratt. So when I talk with them, I talk with my friend, and the answer they give me is not like that deep, deeply like the Nico talk to start. So I think maybe the interview is better with the teacher but not student.
Yeah, I totally agree with Louis. That's all.